If it's your kid asking, it's annoying. If it's 1 billion people across the globe, it's a challenge and responsibility. Farmers feeding the world. It's about agriculture coming together to increase both hunger solutions and food production. Please learn more and give generously.
Congressman Fincher, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've been up here a few months now. What have you learned about this process of serving in the United States House of Representatives?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be able to represent the 8th District of Tennessee. We're very fortunate to live in a great place. I tell folks back home, Washington is a great place to visit. Keyword is visit. I love home, and that's why I'm here to represent the folks at home. This process makes a turtle walk seem fast. It's very slow, but we are very optimistic that we're going to be able to do some good things. Got a lot of great folks up here, and it's just, I think we're turning the ship. I view our country maybe sometimes like the Titanic. It's very big, and it's going to take time to get us out of some of the predicaments that we're in. I mean, we've got a variety of issues we're dealing with, from the budget to farm bill to transportation bill. I mean, we've got many, many things to do. It seems like we can't get any one thing fixed without something else breaking, but it is an honor to serve, and I think we're up to the challenge. It's just going to take some time.
So you have hit the ground running, but you don't want to be accused of having settled in.
No, I don't know if after 10 years I will be settled in or not. It is, when you have to keep in mind the reason you're here. I've got 3 children at home. We're 7th-generation farmers. We've been farming a long time, and I didn't need Washington to complete me. This is not something I've always dreamed of. It is an honor to do this, to serve, but this is a job about the country and the folks. This is not about Stephen Fincher, and this is a sacrifice for me, leaving my home and my family, and it's very important what I do up here. And
you had never run for elected office
No.
before, and you ran, and as I recall, you had a slogan during your campaign, "Plow Congress."
Yeah.
You won with 60% of the vote. Did you just happen to be the right person at the right time?
I was asked to do this in July of '09 by a friend of mine who is also a farmer and a business partner of my family. And I told him he was crazy. I was no politician. I loved my life at home. Not only are we farmers, but we're gospel music singers.
Oh, yeah.
We've been doing that for 60 years, and I've got friends all over the district and other states. But after a lot of prayer and a lot of thought, my wife and my family and I decided that we needed to do this. This country is very important to us, and I want my children to have the same opportunities and advantages I've had. And if they want to farm, if they want to be a lawyer or a doctor, whatever they want to do, I want them to be able to do that. And I'm afraid if we don't change directions, that they may not be able to do the things that I've enjoyed and been able to do. So that's why I'm here. We did have a good team at home. We did win with a good percentage. But I've got several Democrats who support me just as Republicans. I don't represent just Republicans at home. I represent independents, Democrats, and Republicans, and that's what's important.
Tell me about your district, the makeup and its people.
The 8th Congressional District never had a Republican congressman. I'm the first. This was Davy Crockett's seat, and he was a Whig. It's the closest thing we've had to a Republican until now. But, very rural, heavy ag. We don't have a lot of industry. We've got healthcare, banking, and ag. We've got some factories. Caterpillar's got a place there, and a few others, but just not a whole lot. It used to be that ag could sustain our district as far as financially and jobs. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Ag cannot sustain and keep our district and our country moving forward like it once did. So we have to be aggressive, bringing jobs into the district. I think that if we're going to get our economy moving again, we've got to focus on jobs. That's what we've been talking about since we've been sworn in, since we've been elected. But we've got to have an environment that creates jobs. It's friendly to creating jobs. We need low taxes. We need less regulation. We're in a massive deregulation period here in Washington now, going after what I like to call the three-letter agencies. I think they're way overreaching their jurisdiction and what they're supposed to do. And we need to make it easier for folks to create jobs and not punish them.
Being a lifelong farmer, was it a particular thrill for you to gain an appointment to the House Agriculture Committee?
You know, it was. Ag is important. I do a lot of the business side also, but in the farming, and it's very complex now, as you well know. We run very thin margins, and we have to make sure that we're not missing. We're running on all cylinders all the time. But ag does have a special place with me, being connected so heavy in ag, still farming some. When I go home, I don't get to do a lot of physical labor, but I'm still around, and many friends and relatives who still farm. And it does have a special place. We've got a great chairman. Chairman Lucas really understands. The ranking member, Colin Peterson, also understands ag, and I actually play in a little music group with Colin Peterson, the Second Amendment. So
I was going to say, Colin says that you're good.
He is, you know, that's a funny story. When we had been sworn in, he came over one day on our side. You know, the Republicans are historically kind of on the right, and they're kind of on the left. And he said, "Are you the guy that plays music?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he said, "Well, we're looking for a bass guitar player in our group." And he said, "Are you any good?" And I said, "Well, yes, sir, I'm okay." And he said, "Well, would you like to join us?" And I said, "Well, are you any good?" And that's how we started our relationship. And, you know, we always don't see eye to eye on policy, but he understands, and he knows that I understand, that this is about the country, not about Republicans or Democrats, but about moving the country forward. And that's what we've got to focus on.
What did your constituents send you up here to do? If you had to name 2 or 3 things.
Stop spending, create jobs, and restore the confidence of the American people in Congress. Right now, they don't have it. And you know what? I don't blame them. We have been reckless. My predecessors have been reckless, and it seems like they have not focused on the main things. We used to have a preacher that would always say, keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is the American people. That's why we're here to represent them. This is not about us. This is about listening to the experts and listening to the folks at home. And they have not been happy with stimulus bills and bailouts and Obamacare and many other things that's been going on. And I think it was a referendum in November of last year. And if we don't do what we were sent up here to do, they'll replace us. And we've got to focus on doing that. But job creation and cutting spending is why we were sent up here.
Tennessee 8th District Congressman, Republican Stephen Fincher. Mr. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.